the toddler warned the German Shepherd for the last time on a Thursday morning. That's how the family described it later, the last time, because it was the last time they tried to override Aries before they started to wonder if they should be listening instead. Tyler was 2.5, Aries was 5. They had grown up together in the only way children and dogs can, in that asymmetrical way where the dog is already ancient by the time the child is old enough to notice anything at all. Aries had started going to the southeast corner of the backyard in April, just going there, standing, sometimes sitting, always facing inward toward the yard, never outward toward the fence. When Tyler wandered toward the fence, Aries would step in front of him. Not aggressively, not at first. He would simply be in the way. Tyler, with the complete authority of a 2.5-year-old, would push against the dog's side. Aries would hold his ground. This had repeated itself every day for 11 days when Tyler's mother, Gina, a second grade teacher with 20 years of reading behavior, decided it needed professional attention. The dog trainer's name was Patricia. She had been doing this for 14 years. She watched the interaction for 6 minutes from the deck. She came back inside and said, "That dog is resource guarding. It's not the corner, it's the behavior. He's establishing dominance over your son by controlling his access to spaces. I've seen this escalate. We need to address it now." This made sense. This was exactly the framework she had. She was completely wrong. Subscribe so you don't miss what Patricia found out. Some instincts run deeper than 14 years of training. They implemented Patricia's protocol for 4 days. Leash correction whenever Aries moved to block Tyler. Positive redirection. Boundary work. Aries complied with the corrections and then, the moment the leash was removed, walked directly back to the southeast corner. On day 5, Patricia said the word nobody wanted to hear. She said, "rehoming." That night, Gina walked to the southeast corner herself after Tyler was in bed. She stood in it. She looked around. She didn't see anything. The grass was a little thin. The soil looked the same as the rest of the yard. She kicked at the ground with her foot. It gave slightly more than she expected. She got a spade from the garage. 18 inches down, she found the top of a rusted metal canister, approximately the size of a paint can. The cap had corroded through. The smell that came up from the disturbed soil was chemical, sharp, wrong. She covered it and went inside and called the county environmental office the next morning. The inspector arrived at 10 a.m. with a soil test kit. He was methodical. He didn't rush. When he came back to the door 45 minutes later, his expression was the specific neutral of someone trained not to alarm homeowners prematurely. He said, "How old is this property?" She said, "The land was farmland. The house was built in 1974. He said, "We're going to need to do a full assessment. What's in that corner is consistent with organochlorine pesticide storage. The canister has been leaching into the soil for a significant period. For adults, the risk is low with limited exposure. For small children, and I mean under 4, repeated contact with that soil would be a serious concern. Has your dog ever refused to let you go somewhere you later understood you shouldn't go? Tell us in the comments." He said one more thing before he left. He said, "Your dog knew. We see this sometimes. The compounds have a detectable odor at concentrations too low for human perception. Your dog was almost certainly responding to the soil chemistry." 11 days. Aries had been standing in front of that corner for 11 days before anyone thought to dig. Gina called Patricia that evening. There was a long pause when she finished explaining. Patricia said, I owe you an apology. I owe that dog an apology. The remediation took 3 weeks. The county flagged 6 other properties in the area for assessment. 2 of them had similar legacy contamination from the same farming operation. None of those families had a dog standing in the corner. Aries got a new bed that week. The good one they'd been saving for when the old one wore out. Tyler helped pick it out, which meant it was bright orange and slightly too large for the living room. Arias slept on it without moving all night. In the morning, Tyler climbed onto it beside him and announced that it was also his bed now. Aries did not argue. Subscribe because the next story carries the same weight.